This is the Sports Hit List. By the fans, for the fans.
Along to our final two divisions, the NFC West, we have the Cardinals, the Rams, the 49ers, and the Seahawks. The Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, 2-year deal, $12 million. They also signed 2 wide receivers. Then you move along to the Rams as well. Jimmy Garoppolo returning on a 1-year deal over there. Matt Stafford agreed to reconstruct a contract there. You get the 49ers, Mac Jones, 2-year deal, wide receiver here and there, and then the Seahawks. Trav, real quick, who you got there? Any thoughts?
I do like the signing of, how old is Josh Sweat? I do like the signing of him to the Cardinals. He got a 4-year deal, almost $80 million. There's some familiarity with the head coach. He was the former DC from the Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs. So there is some familiarity right there. I like that they need an edge presence, somebody to rush the passer. In terms of the Rams, I mean, you bring in Devontae Adams, you jettison Cooper Kupp. That's kind of to me, it's apples and apples. You know, I mean, that kind of cancels each other out right there. But I do like the signing. Getting Matt Stafford back in and locked in for a few more years, that's good. San Francisco, I mean, San Francisco's actually, they jettisoned a lot of guys. They got rid of a lot of guys. You can tell that they're kind of, I don't want to call it a rebuild, but you're in a high level retool because you're going to have to re-sign Brock Purdy to whatever kind of deal you give him. And given the quarterback market, I doubt you're going to get him for less than $40 million. You bring in, it's funny how Mac Jones finally ends up with Kyle Shanahan as the backup quarterback. But they're going to be very busy in the draft, so I'm very interested to see what they do. The Seahawks, you bring in Sam Darnold, you get rid of Geno Smith, and you bring in Cooper Kupp. That's not bad, but you get rid of DK. You basically got rid of that whole wide receiver room except Jackson Jig Inbo, whatever his name is. Dude out of Ohio State. So that wide receiver room is going to be retooled. You bring in MVS, who don't do nothing but know how to run 9 routes. So we'll see. Can Sam Darnold duplicate what he did last year? I think if they can duplicate what he did last year, they're going to be pretty good in that division. The Rams defense is very young and talented. So I like what the Rams are doing this offseason in terms of, we'll see what they do in the draft. But it's a lot of wait and sees in that division because it's a lot of turnover in that division right now in terms of what the talent is. The Cardinals, like you said, nothing big, but like I said, I like the Josh Sweat signing.
Josh Sweat, to fact check, is 27 years old.
He's only 27?
27.
I feel like he's been around a lot longer than that. Okay.
He's been black for a lot longer than that.
Paul.
Okay, so that's not a bad deal. 4 years for $76 million.
It's very NBA dunk contest, right? You remember guys like Desmond Mason was whack, win the dunk contest, didn't get paid. Like, this is bad. And meanwhile, my man Mac McClung is still in the G League up the street. Like, and he didn't won 3 years in a row. All I'm saying is, it's a problem. Josh Sweat gonna be a weak. That's a weak sign.
In the NFC West, like
pass rush.
anything that stands out to you, Paul, as far as like a team that's like they made some impressive moves to you in your opinion.
Yo, you want to talk about a transition? Shout out to the Seahawks, B.
I was gonna say that they did.
Seattle Seahawks did something we've been doing in video games our whole life. Bring in a new coach, our own self. Paul Lawson's the coach. 1 year, everybody's gone. You're all out of here. I don't give a damn.
That's so true.
Geno Smith kicked they wrote back this time. Shout out to the Seahawks. Making moves, spending bread, and they've made it crystal clear with the new identity. They're gonna get it done with this new zone, this zones West Coast zone scheme.
Yeah.
And the guys they already got, plus who they finna draft. They ain't wasting their time with none of these other jokesters, and they looking to lock up on the defensive end when they lock up Ernest Jones, Jaron Reed, bring in DeMarcus Lawrence. Like, they not playing around in Seattle. In Seattle, for years, even when they weren't good, have been very, very competitive. And they've always been right in the mix. I know it's a lot of talk about the Niners losing a lot of guys, but I'm going to be honest. Who did they actually lose that they think matters? None of those guys. Deebo Samuel was on the outside looking in. He's a big name from the past. They don't give a damn. He's overpaid for the product, and they know he's diminished. All right. Javarius Ward is like my kids trying to guard the pantry. All right. Everything's open. Okay. Let them walk at $60 million. They didn't lose anybody significant.
You lost what's the linebacker name? Greenlaw.
You don't even know his name. The defensive lineman.
You know Dre Greenlaw is
they not worried about him.
That defensive line, they lost a lot of depth along that defensive line, which was a key. You know what I mean?
Doesn't seem to phase.
Did they lose anybody you know?
Some of their success. Know what I mean? So they lost some pieces right there.
Man, they ain't worried about none of those guys.
You lost Jordan. You got rid of Jordan Mason. You better hope CMC can play a full season.
CMC, Garendo, and it's the Niners. They can pick a zone read running back off the street like Jordan Mason, and they gonna eat. There's 100 of them in the draft. They're not worried about none of those guys. They couldn't believe that the Minnesota Vikings was willing to give them draft capital for Jordan Mason. They took that deal at 11 p.m. West Coast time. It's all now. Hey. You can have him. You can have Jordan Mason. We'll find another Jordan Mason.
Our final division, though, as we move along, just as I started with the champions, we start with the losers of the Super Bowl.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry.
I ain't never seen you start no NBA segment when the Celtics was losing to the Warriors. I ain't never seen that.
I just listened. It was seamless for me to do it. I had to. I'm sorry, bro. I had to. I'm so sorry, but they are in the division of the last one that we're covering. So if you talk about the AFC West,
it is a great division.
We have the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Stacked division, to be honest with you, stacked division. So I know Manny probably has something to say about his team. And I believe they just got a new coach too, right? So
Pete Carroll.
Yeah. So there you go.
I mean, you got a lot of
Harbaugh's going on his second season, right? Yeah.
Champion winning coaches in that division. Some at the college level. They've all been to a Super Bowl, I believe, because Harbaugh's been to a Super Bowl. I like what the Chargers did. You went out there and got Najee Harris, who I think will fit in well with what they want to do there in Los Angeles with the Chargers. Bring back Mike Williams, who I think still has some decent chemistry with Justin Herbert. He's another one where, okay, Justin Herbert, the runway's running out for you. We need to see it.
Another one with $250 million. The runway is just starting, Trav.
The runway, in terms of we need to see it. I like the Mekhi Beckman signing at the guard position. You know what I mean? You brought in a center. I like what they did. The Raiders, their offseason has been pretty good overall. Like I said, you bring in Pete Carroll, you can see the Tom Brady effect. You're starting to get some quality things going on around there. You go out there and trade for Geno Smith because you don't know what was going to happen in the quarterback carousel of this offseason was going to happen, because there's going to be some teams left out there who need quarterbacks who are going to be left without quarterbacks. So I think it was a good move to go out here and get Geno Smith. You sign Max Crosby up to a very lucrative deal. The Chiefs, they've done pretty good. I think they're another team that's going to really address that offensive line. I mean, they have to. We've seen what happened in the Super Bowl. They got to really address that offensive line. The Broncos, love their offseason so far. Love their free agencies. You got Evan Ingram to go out there and pair up with your young quarterback. You brought Dre Greenlaw in on the defensive side, and you signed the safety Talawanga Hufanga. I think I pronounced that right. From the 49ers. You know what I mean? The two of them, when healthy, are great players and will add to a defense that was already very good. So I like what the Broncos have done. They made sure that, hey, we came out here. Nobody expected us to make, to get where we got to make the playoffs last year. They want to make sure it's not a fluke. You know what I mean? So they went out there and they improved that roster. So I've liked what I've seen from this division, and it should be a very interesting division to watch.
Paul, to wrap it up, I guess with the Chiefs, as far as, are they still does the AFC go through them? Clearly still goes through them.
Well, listen.
Hold on, Carl, because let's remember what he said tonight in the Super Bowl. He
I
said it was
ain't forget
over.
what I said. I mean, let me just be very crystal clear. The gift and a curse, like I said on Super Bowl Sunday, I was walking down Bourbon Street, remaining with the Chiefs hat on, despite the bloodbath. Okay, I don't know that the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be back in the Super Bowl, but that doesn't mean they won't win the division. Okay, I mean, let's be one. I don't give a shit if it's Pete Carroll, Matt Carroll, or Jack Carroll. The Chiefs winning the division. Okay, and that's just my opinion. But I have to say, the AFC West was the most competitive division last year, and it'll be the most competitive division again this year. Even their bad teams were really good last year and just lost in bad moments. Like, I mean, the Raiders didn't have a quarterback for 2 years. like, could you imagine? Like, Geno Smith could take them to a 9 or 10 win season. I could see that. The Chargers are very problematic because the aggressive style of play. I mean, I know Travis was talking about Najee Harris and some of those other cats, but like, listen, Naquan Jones staying with the team, like to keep that core together that was really good on the defensive side of the ball was impressive. Like, you know who was the first signing for the Chargers last year? I mean, this offseason was a punter. Like, when you got locked in the front office that your first signing is a punter because you plan to play that type of football, the Harvard style of play. So you go get the most accurate punter inside the 20 because that's the type of game you want to play. You got to have some respect for what they're going to try to do in LA. So I got nothing but love for them. Bringing Mike Will back is good. I don't understand why they haven't brought Keenan Allen back yet as well. They've been talking about it because we know as good as Lad McConkey was, that boy will be unstoppable if he actually played the slot all game. Like, he would be virtually unstoppable if he played the slot all game. But as it stands for the Chiefs, I mean, listen, Patrick Mahomes is there. I trust Mike Leach fully to get it done. One of the top 2 best drafting teams of our decade. Premium assets from the draft with day one players that can contribute in real time. The Chiefs don't make selections for the future. They draft your ass, they expect you to play. It's like the Army. Okay, you could be a 6th-round pick. They might have your ass at starting corner position. So I respect that wholeheartedly about a few franchises, especially the Chiefs. You get Rashid Rice back. You get Isaiah Worthy. Now that the Chargers has dropped, he ain't got nothing. He got to declare. And Hollywood Brown, we get a chance to actually see Mahomes with a trio of wide receivers for the first time in his career, assuming everybody stays healthy. Travis Kelce, we know, is on a decline, but his presence will matter. So I'm very excited to see that. And low key, Trav, that Mitchell signing that running back wasn't bad either to go with Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. I'm just saying, you need a home run hitter. Eli Mitchell's a home run hitter. Okay?
Very Andy Reid thing to get,
It's an Andy Reid guy.
To bring in another quality running back who can contribute.
Who can run, who can catch, who can block.
Let me end with this. So, Paul, you say that the Chiefs don't get back. So, who makes it for the AFC now?
I think Buffalo. I think
what? That's a fair question.
It's early, right? In the words of Jim,
listen. Did they release the power rankings yet? I'm sure it's probably out there. Someone has a power rankings.
Somebody probably got them.
It's early.
Listen,
it's never too early.
If Carl gonna do something, he gonna ask for a prediction.
I'm looking at the futures on FanDuel. Shout out to the bro Rick.
Listen, when the season look, come on, let's be honest. That sports fan, when one season ends, are we not thinking about the next season? Like, this is what we do. Are we not thinking about the next season?
Until at least after the draft, so I know. I need to see what the team looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
As they were talking a bunch of smack to the Chiefs fans around me, nobody tried to try me like that. But as they were talking to some of the fans, like, yeah, we wish we would have got Buffalo. Would have been a better game. America wanted to see that Eagles Bills matchup. America wanted to see that. We know the East Coast wanted to see that. But I mean, I could honestly say the style of play that the Bills play, they would have had a better game than the Chiefs. But the Chiefs, I mean, that game was over before it started, right? First quarter was toast.
I would have preferred this.
So I'll say this: who I think will be there next year? I can see Philly getting back and playing Buffalo. I could see that.
Early on prediction. There we go. Travis, too early for you. We'll talk to you
Too
around
early,
the draft
too
time.
early. Yeah.
So
I also can see the Bengals getting there, right? Y'all know my love for Joey B. Y'all know ain't a day go by without my love for the Bengals. You know what I'm saying?
With that kind of money to Jamar Chase, they better get there.
This might
with
be
that kind
one
of money
thing
they're
that
pulling out.
Paul and I ever agree on: the love for Joey B.
The love for Joey B.
Joey B. But I'm sorry,
one.
they gonna be out there losing games 70-77.
See, when you a platinum level fantasy player, when you reach that stage, you know that Joey B is good.
Those
He's
are like,
so are you in the words of Shaq G classified?
Listen, you want to win?
The Bengals gonna be fantasy gold next year. Fantasy gold.
I mean, there's not many guys that's gonna go out there and give you 400 yards and 5 TDs. Joey B can do that shit in 3 quarters.
Like, share, comment, subscribe
they
to all
throwing on
Hitless
the 1 yard line in Cincinnati. They're not even handing the rock for it. Tush push for what, Carl? We got Jamar Chase.
T. Higgins, jump ball.
Thanks for watching the Sports Hit List. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. In fact, do it now.